thanks so much for your support today and also on fight week and of course on Saturday night as well. All the guys are back here, looking a lot slimmer than they did 8 weeks ago. Ready for, apart from me and Rick, all ready for action. The first ever unification fight in Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, but most of all, taking the belts away. Just a wonderful, wonderful fight. I've been thinking about this fight a lot since it's been made, since the first press conference. I'm genuinely so excited about this fight. I think it's one of the standout fights of 2017. Of course, live and exclusive on Sky Sports and also on HBO in America, which I think is great news for both fighters. HBO executives also flying in tomorrow to come and see this fight. So I think that shows you how they regard this fight and also both fighters in it. It's a huge card as well, and some great young talent, some big fights for those coming through from Belfast. Of course, Paul Highland Jr. against Stephen Ormond, I think it's just a great fight, and right crossroads fight for the career of both men. James Tennyson against Darren Traynor, it's going to be a hell of a fight as well. We'd like to also thank Renaud Garrido for stepping up against Tyrone McCulloch after Tommy Coyle's withdrawal. Tyrone McKenna, oh sorry, can't always get it right, but it's quite an interesting story with that fight because when Tommy Coyle pulled out, Renaud Garrido is like a Twitter spy, and any time any fight falls through at 140 or 147 pounds, he jumps straight in. He's actually a matchmaker as well as a fighter, and he sent me a private message and he said, yes please, I would like to fight Tyrone McKenna. And I said, look, it's 10 rounds, 140 pounds. He said, I can do 144 pounds. I said, no, that's no good. He said, well, I've already spoke to Tyrone McKenna. He said, it's fine. I said, oh, thanks very much for doing that. So thanks Tyrone for making that match against Renaud Garrido, and that's going to be a great fight. Loads of young talent on the card as well. Fergal McCrory, Tommy McCarthy, great to have him on the card as well, and Joe Fitzpatrick. Of course, young stars coming through from Belfast boxing. And from the Matchroom side, over the pond, 2 young fighters that I'm so excited about. Obviously, shared the Great Britain best in Rio, 2 good friends. One of the hardest punching light middleweights, I think, out there right now, Anthony Fowler. And also, pretty boy Josh Kelly, who I think is coming through at a tremendous rate. Stablemates, of course, with Adam Booth and Ryan Burnett. He'll be looking to put in a great performance and then get out and watch his man try and unify the division on Saturday night. Try. Say that. Renaud, yes. Firstly from you, we know you've prepared a few words and Lawrence is going to translate for us because we know his French is first class. Renaud, take it away.
Yes, please. Sit down. Speak for me.
A few weeks ago, I fought against an undefeated number 5 WBC who knocked out all those opponents before me. But I put him in difficulty, and despite the defeat, I was not far from victory. This fight, which rolled out in New York in the United States, is a dream for all boxers. But for me, the boxing world is going on in the UK. The audience and atmosphere is unique and extraordinary. I have big thoughts for little Jaden, who has Batten's disease. I would love to fight for him. Jaden, I love you. Thank you for all your welcomes. I'm glad to see you here. I'm happy to work again with Eddie Hearn and his great technical team. I'm glad to have an opponent as talented as McKenna. I am also proud to face this great guy who smiles as much as me, but I would be even more proud if I take the victory. The best man wins. Long live boxing, and long live moustaches.
Tyrone, if you could grab one of those mics. Obviously, complete nutcase, Renaud Garrido, but also a tough cookie. Great fight with Frankie Gavin, obviously beating Bradley Saunders as well, and just come back from a very tough fight with Clayton Selden, who's on our HBO card on November 11th. And although no Tommy Coyle, very tough fight for you on Saturday night.
Yeah, although he isn't Tommy Coyle, he's very similar to Tommy Coyle. He comes forward, he throws a lot of punches, he's high pace. So I've been training the last 10 weeks for this kind of fight, this style of fight. So I'm just going to execute the game plan that I've been putting to use in training. So he's a perfect opponent, like replacement for Coyle come Saturday night.
Good stuff, Tyrone. Fergal, back in action. I'm sure your crazy fans will be there again on Saturday night and ready to put on another show.
Yeah, another big crowd coming as always, which is something I'm very proud of. And we're fighting a very tough Welsh kid. He has 2 fights, 2 wins. He was a 3 times Welsh amateur champion. So there's not much footage of him, but what we've been reading is he comes forward and fights. I come forward and fights. So the best one wins.
Tommy, the domestic cruiserweight scene is absolutely flying at the moment. Probably a year ago, you were probably looking at it thinking, well, what are the fights out there for me? Obviously now, you know, taking away the Matty Askins and Stephen Simmons, you've got Isaac Chamberlain, Lawrence Nicoli coming through. Luke Watkins obviously just won the Commonwealth title as well. It's a big opportunity for you to get this win and move into those fights in 2018.
Yeah, a year ago, before the Askins fight, you know, I felt like I was leading the charge of the division, and you know, everything was going right. So after I lost, my career's kind of been on hold. So I've been in a flipping training camp for 11 months. So I'm glad to get back in the competitive action, and I can't wait again to get back in the ring on Saturday night. Really looking forward to it.
Joe, plenty of inactivity for you. A chance now on a big card to get some momentum, and looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah, I've been out for 6 months, so can't wait to get back. I've had a great time training with all the boys in the stable, so hopefully Saturday night I get the win and look impressive.
Anthony, obviously out just a couple of weeks ago on the Liverpool card. Great to be back in and looking for another impressive victory on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm fired up about matching back me and yourself, and being busy is what I want. I want to move fast as all the Olympians will, because we're all very experienced, and I love the Irish, I love the attitude of fighting Irish, and I want to show you all what I'm about from Saturday night. Like, I come to fight, come to entertain, and looking forward to it.
Obviously a difficult style for you last time out against Jay Burney, boxing off the back foot, making it awkward for you. Took you time to break him down. This guy, much tougher, going to come forward on the front foot, expecting an explosive performance.
Yeah, well, I hope it comes forward because I was expecting Jay Burney, but people come out, they feel me strength, and they automatically want to like sweep around the ring and run away. So hopefully this opponent, he is tough. I've watched him, he's been stopped 3 times in 60 fights, and he will be tough, so hopefully he comes to the fight and then he feels better than me when I'm not chasing people around the ring.
Josh, feels like an age since you last boxed. I can't believe it was only end of June or July last time you were in the ring. Better rest, good summer, and ready for a very, very busy second part of the year now.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, on the Sunday card, and being in Camp Ryan, both flying, so can't wait to impress and put a performance on for the lively crowd, and obviously the Irish, so it's going to be good.
How much does it help dealing and training with Ryan Burnett? Obviously you seem to have a great camaraderie, I've seen it on social media, but pushing each other on, and obviously you're expecting a big performance from him on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a bit of a maniac, Ryan, when it comes to training. He's a bit nuts. You do one thing, he's got to do it better. You do another thing, he's got to do it better. So, I mean, in that sense, he's shot unbelievable talent, and he's worth work ethic. And I mean, I can't see him coming unstuck on Saturday night. So it's going to be good watch.
Thank you, Josh. Before we talk to the fighters involved in the TV Championship fights on the top table, quick word from Mark Dunlop. Mark, thanks again for all your help and the build up to this show. Much bigger show this time, obviously history making show as well, and a big night for your boys as well.
Yes, Eddie, thanks again. Matchroom, it's been amazing. The build up has been fantastic. All the media have been unbelievable this time. I actually had a chat with Frank Smith, head of Matchroom Boxing, and I begged him literally to open the Odyssey further bigger this time, because you know the feedback I was getting from the fans, the tickets they were flying. So I really believe come Saturday, 2 days time, it'll be sold out. And I say all the guys that I'm looking after and helping young Fergal must have sold the water of it. And Rand's fan base, talking to everybody now, he's a real household name, so it's very, very good. James Tennyson and Darren's in a better watch what I say here because I get out, but James Tennyson and Darren are in a fantastic fight. They both have a lost to Ram Waltz for the British title down at 125. But I've watched, well, obviously I've seen James next, and I've seen Darren up at lightweight, and they're different characters, and I do know deep down this will be a war. Highland and Ormond is unbelievable. Highland has been training non-stop. A few years ago, you know, for Stephen, like he's been a real stalwart of Irish boxing. This would have been a stepping stone for him, but now I see it as an opportunity for him, and Hedo knows himself that like there'd be no room for error on Saturday night, and all this fear of HBO, everybody are in for a tremendous fight. And again, thank you for this opportunity for the boys, and to be sitting in such great company as Ricky Hatton, ZHANAT, Adam, Ryan. It's just amazing. And in years to come, they'll look back on this picture and they'll all say, what a lineup, because there's more world champions here now, and that will be thanks to you. Cheers.
Thanks, Mark. Darren, obviously, first press conference, you were a bit of a rookie on the old press conference, but now you look like you should have your shades on, cool, calm, collected, ready for a big fight on Saturday. A lot of people talking about this fight. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really very exciting. We're both like going forward, both like a tear up. It's got a very good fight for the fans, so I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a really tough fight, and then I'm going to just go in there and do all what I can do and do my best to win.
James, obviously a good win for you last time. I think tougher fight this time in the sense that a very well prepared opponent with plenty of notice, and an important time for you as well, important fight, moving up those world rankings.
Yeah, definitely, real tough opponent in front of me, he's coming to win, he's confident. Going up to fight hard and fight smart with his own title, but he believes he's coming to Belfast, coming upset with his mistake.
Obviously, you look at the division right now, it's wide open domestically as well. You've got Martin Ward moving on from British and Commonwealth titles as well, and now highly ranked in the world as well.
Yeah, definitely, there's some big opportunities out there for me, some big titles, and I believe I can get them.
Hilo, your opponent is babysitting duties this morning. It'll be up tonight. But a very important fight for you. A very important fight for both of you, actually. This is a fight that when it was made I was very excited about. And you looked devastating last time out against Dingsdale. I was watching that knockout just a couple of days ago. And a different level of opponent here this time, I think.
Yeah, but a more experienced fighter this time. He's fought more than once. So for this camp, I've done a lot of extra work. I've put some new programs in the training. So I'm looking forward to training a lot of times Saturday night.
What do you expect from Stephen Orman? You say what you want, he's not here.
But I know he's going to be on my face. He's a tough opponent. He's going to be here to win. So I'm expecting to be on my face, but I think I'm confident of beating him. I'm confident.
Chief support slot this time around. Again, huge following coming to support you on Saturday.
Yeah, I've sold some amount of tickets, and big thanks to everyone who has bought tickets. It's going to be noisy, and I'm excited to watch Ryan's fight myself. It's near cellar, so I'm looking forward to it.
Great stuff. Now we move on to the main event. It gives me great pleasure to welcome and introduce a real legend of British boxing in Adam Booth. Oh no, I'm joking. But before we move to Adam Booth, again, seriously, fantastic to have Ricky Hatton in this city. Obviously, he had a huge support while he was coming through, winning world titles, and I know he really appreciates the kind of atmosphere that you guys create, and I think he's going to really enjoy himself on Saturday night. I probably wish he was in there as well. But Ricky, this is a big fight, big fight for you as a trainer, and obviously as a friend of ZHANAT as well, and a wonderful fight as well.
Yeah, excuse me, after becoming a world champion myself, and I went as a trainer, ZHANAT became my first world trainer, first world champion I actually trained, so you can imagine that was, apart from winning it yourself, that was probably my greatest achievement as a trainer. And fights such as this, once you've trained a world champion, you want to be involved in unification fights, I guess, as a trainer, and I didn't think it would be against me buddy, just down the side of us there, but it is. And but these are fights as a trainer, as a fighter I want to be involved in world title fights, unification fights, and as a trainer I want to do, so I'm delighted in it. And to come to Belfast, I said earlier, I was walking through Manchester, walking through Belfast town centre the other morning, and I swear it was like walking through Manchester, the people coming up to me and talking to me. It's a real fight city, and they've got this historic world title fight. First time a unification title fight is in Belfast, and what a fight for it. Eddie mentioned there before, when you look at the great fights that have been made recently, I think you'll agree with me that Ryan and ZHANAT are household names, if you like, when you're talking about Canelo, Alvarez and Golovkin. But from a stylistic point of view, I don't see many better fights out there than this. That's on Saturday night, and so it's not only is it a historic historic fight for Belfast boxing. You're gonna get one hell of a fight for it. You know, two nice guys, but there's nothing going to be nice about this fight because they both like to have a fight, they both like to get stuck in, and I think the winner tonight will not be the winner of the bout, but also be Belfast boxing. I think it's going to be a sensational night.
Obviously, it's been a long camp for both guys, and it looks in great shape. Not afraid to come away from home and obviously get the win. Ricky, do you see this fight shaping up just like everybody does? The same old ZHANAT ZHAKIYANOV, and obviously a Ryan Burnett, which you know as well.
Yeah, well, he's the dangers for us. I think ZHANAT is traditionally a slow starter. He started slow in the last fight, and he got tagged. He was down in the first 2 rounds, but so that's the danger for us. But I'd like to think we'll put the mistakes he made in the last fight in the early rounds. We'll put them right, and hopefully he'll make a better start in this fight. He'll need to. But he knows he's not going to win on ability, he's not going to win on speed, he's going to win it on, there's a few things we've been working on, certain moves and punches that we think might work in the fight, but ultimately it's, it is what it is. I think Ryan, it's not necessarily who Ryan's beat, because I think ZHANAT, no disrespect, has got the better men in Warren and Garifim, but it's who Ryan has beat. He's done it in the manner he's done it and shows there's more to come from him, which, so that's one thing, but ZHANAT can hit, and Ryan sometimes, because he's got that big heart, he sometimes gets involved when he shouldn't be. That gives me confidence. If ZHANAT can come through the later round, through the early rounds, he might have to come through a few minefields, in order to do it. But if he does do it and he comes into the trenches, that's where we're hoping it might go over to our side of the fight. Yeah.
ZHANAT will come to you shortly. Let's hear from the Burnett's team, Adam. Again, this is a fight that I think all the boxing is very excited about, the fights you want to be involved with as a promoter, as fans to see, and also as a trainer as well. And I think you're probably just excited as all of us about Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely great matchup. We've enjoyed the training camp, and we put the work in, and it's time that this week, I enjoy this week because you just relax, have a laugh, try not to think about the fight too much, because on fight night it's going to be very intense, but Ryan mentally, physically and emotionally is prepared for what we believe is every eventuality. At this level, when the desire and the level of opponents is equal, it's a man that can make constant adjustments throughout the fight. And with Ryan's determination, strength, speed and intelligence, and the fact that he can make constant adjustments through the fight, I believe that will be the deciding factor.
Obviously not just a trainer, but a manager and advisor for the career as well. And obviously when you talk about platforms and you talk about fights in the division, I think many feel this is to be the star of the bantamweight division this fight on Saturday night, and a big chance, of course, always on Sky, but also on HBO as well.
It's a very fair comment to make, and I also agree with what Ricky said. I think that ZHANAT beat the most tricky fella out there in Rashi Warren. I don't think he's the type of opponent you just wouldn't choose because of his experience and abilities, but ZHANAT went out there and did the job. And equally, I think Ricky's right. It's the manner that Ryan's had his victories, where he's been so clear and concise in what he's done, every test that's been put in front of him. And it's no different to what I see every day in the gym. Everything I set him, he rises to it and tops it. And that's what I'm looking forward to on Saturday night, in a fantastic fight, in an incredible atmosphere. But Ryan's going to show that he still has many more levels in him.
Thanks, Mike, for that. Fall down and have a card. That was you. ZHANAT, you look in great shape. Big fight on Saturday. Are you looking forward to it?
Good afternoon. I'm 3 months good training, 1 month from Kazakhstan, 2 months on England. I'm happy, very big fight. Feeling is good. I am ready. You're welcome, 24th October. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good effort, good effort. Ryan, these are the fights that I believe that you want to be involved in. Obviously, this is a fight that you and Adam chose, and what a chance to make history on Saturday night. Obviously, the first unification fight, but broadcast all around the world, and a massive night for you on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a massive night for me. like I said, I don't want to be just a world champion. I want to be a great world champion, and to have the opportunity to fight another world champion in the home city is something that I've always wanted, and I'm blessed now to have the opportunity to get that second belt on Saturday night.
Obviously, you know ZHANAT, you've sparred ZHANAT. Have you mentally prepared yourself for this tough fight on Saturday, for this war?
Yeah, with every fighter you have to train different, you have to have different tactics, and there's no better man to have in your corner than Adam. And in this training camp we've done everything perfect that's needed to be done to build myself to deal with any situation on the night. So I'll be going into that room very confident and knowing that I can deal with anything that's put in front of me.
Obviously last time it was an incredible night, quite a few more thousand in there this time around, and a real opportunity as well, like I said, on HBO across America as well. How do you see the fight playing out on Saturday night? Do you think you know what to expect from ZHANAT ZHAKIYANOV?
Yeah, I know what to expect. I know what's going to happen in there, but also I'm prepared to deal with anything that goes on in there. Adam's prepared me very, very well, and he's prepared me to deal with every situation that happens on the night. So I am now just really looking forward to wrapping that other belt over my shoulder.
And finally, winning that was a wonderful moment for you. I know how much it meant. You look at it every day, see it across your social media. To have to be the only unified champion in the division, it'll be a very special night on Saturday in Belfast.
Yeah, can't wait now. It's just, since I won this here belt, I pushed my fiancée to the side and the belt seats beside me now. So, I'm looking forward to having another one squeezed in with me.
Good stuff, guys. This is a great fight and a great card on Saturday night. I think when you hear two people who are so knowledgeable about the sport of boxing talk about this fight and the way they talk about it, I feel exactly the same. I cannot wait. Two great champions collide on Saturday night at the SSE Arena. We'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow, 1 o'clock on the scales. Don't miss it. Thanks as always for your support. We're going to break for head-to-head shots up here, and all the guys are going to be available for interviews. Thanks for coming. We'll see you Saturday night.